Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. We are in parashat Ki Savo. But, Ki Savo is the portion of the week. We got to look into the whole idea of Rosh Hashanah. But before that, we got to talk about Ki Savo. And when you look at Ki Savo, we are looking at a parasha that starts so beautiful with the Kohen bringing the tene, bringing the fruit and vegetables to God. And but in the end of the parasha, there's 98 curses that scared everybody. I mean, if you read the translation, it's not so much fun. But within those curses, as the Zohar Hadash say, there is a blessing, because there is the word Yalem, and the word Yalem is the code words to remove all those curses. So Rabbi Shimon say that God didn't leave us just by mistake. We are doing a mistake by this parasha. No, within all those curses, there is one word, min ya'alem, disappear. It said that God will make all those curses that written in this Torah go away from your life. For that reason, many people go into this Shabbat, with friends, with people, to connect to that energy. It's very powerful energy, and we all need to take advantage of it. In the same time, we need to understand that there is a code in this parasha, and the code is that while you are feeling curse in your business or in your spirituality or relationship or something going on in your life that it seemed like a curse, you got to find out where is the bracha, where is the blessing within the curse. There is a blessing within the blessing, and there is a blessing within the curse. The blessing within the curses I wrote in my book, it's covered very well, so it's very difficult to see it. It's like I'm giving you a gift, but the cover is not that pretty. It's still a gift, but you can't see it, so it seemed like a curse. That's exactly what's going on in this week parasha, to teach us to find the blessing within the things that are not working out. There is a famous story about the Baal Shem Tov, that he brought his team with him, his minion, and he went to a poor man's house. And he's walking in, the poor man has a cow that produces milk, create cheese, sell it, make some money, chicken, eggs, sell the eggs. That's poor man life. The Baal Shem Tov is sitting there and he say, I want to eat, and I want to eat meat, red meat. But this poor family didn't see red meat for about 4 years. And here's the holy Baal Shem Tov, the greatest rabbi, which is not easy to say no to, because, your rabbi is asking for something. There is a code. There's a code. There's a code that comes from Hashem, from God. And if the code comes from Hashem, from God, the rabbi is a representative of God. If you choose him to be your teacher or your rabbi, you always have to ask your teacher, your rabbi, tell me. And don't worry if he tell you the right thing, the wrong, doesn't matter. It's the channel. So his lips and tongue and the voice is a channeling now something from God. If you want to know what God thinks of you, you always ask your teacher different thing. And you don't care if your teacher answer it according to what you like, whatever you don't like. You follow a teacher. This is it. You follow a rabbi. This is it. This is it. So within everything has to be agree with what your rabbi telling you. Why is that? Because as Rabbi Avraham Azulai write, and I'm about to read to you from Likutei Maharan as well, that the rabbi itself is a practice, almost like a yard where you practice how to be with God eventually. Everybody need to have a person they look up to for spirituality and Torah. Everybody. And if you don't have one, get one. There's no such a thing. Some of you will get the wrong teacher, which is okay in the meantime, until you're going to get right. How? By you changing. If you're not changing, you're going to end up with a terrible teacher. They don't care about you, don't care about your life, don't care about nothing that you do. Baal Shem Tov, known to be the person who cares about every soul in this universe. So how come the Baal Shem Tov bring his group and go into that poor man house and took advantage of him, take the meat, he slaughtered the cow. Now there is no money, so they have to borrow money for to pay the shochet, to pay the slaughter. the kosher butcher, then half of the cow gotta go because it's not kosher. The back of the cow is not kosher, only the front. The Baal Shem Tov stayed there. He said, you know what? It seemed like you know what you're doing. I'm going to stay here for Shabbat. Stay there for Shabbat. And everybody's eating. And the wife, reading the picture very well, by Friday afternoon, she fight with her husband. She say, I'm done. She take the 2 kids. Goodbye. And the Baal Shem Tov is keep himself there, keep eating really well. And the guy has to sell his house to sustain his teacher. And the doubts was not knocking him down yet, but it was pretty much knocking on doubt door in his mind. And by Saturday night, the Baal Shem Tov said, I think we should do Fabrengen, we should do a little party. So why don't you get me a little drink? No money. So he started borrow money from people. Borrow money, the house, problem, a bruch. And by Sunday morning, the Baal Shem Tov take the chavura and leave. This guy, there's no house, no wife, no kids, no chicken, no eggs, no cow, maybe bones. And he has the house till Wednesday. It's a Sunday. Saturday evening, he go to the forest, start laughing at himself, and at the same time crying. Say, God, you write in your Torah to listen to your rabbi, to listen to your teacher. I do what you told me. Look at me. I have nothing now. Got nothing. And he starts crying really bad. Behind him, he hear a man who was laughing, hysterical. He thought that man make fun of his tears. I mean, when the last time you find somebody in the forest in the evening? It's kind of scary, right? So you go to him. And you see a man lying down on the floor in dirt. A man who basically kind of dig a grave for himself. And he has 2 bottles of drinking. And he keep drinking. And he's drinking. And I tell him, what's so funny? I said, what's so funny? I tell you what's so funny. And he told him that the doctor tell him that he has not too long to live. And he told him also that his 2 sons tried to kill him because they knew he's going to die soon. So he decided to bury the diamond. He showed him where. The gold and the silver. Here. And he said to himself, he said, listen, I'm not religious, I'm not spiritual. But I said to myself, you know what, God? The first person who's going to come here, I'm going to give him whatever I have. And you show up. So that's yours. He gave him 3 keys to the 3 boxes, said, that's yours. And a few hours later, at night, he passed away. This wonderful student buried him. And become very rich, the richest man in the neighborhood. Still bother him, whatever he went through. Of course, he tell his wife, I can pay for the education for the kids, don't worry. We can have a house. And of course, they become super wealthy. Rosh Hashanah is coming and everybody want to be Rosh Hashanah with the Baal Shem Tov. You want to be with the rabbi, you know how to blow the shofar, not to make noise, to think a certain thought. So he's going there. And sitting in the back, before the prayer begin, the Baal Shem Tov call him. And he goes, say, Chag Sameach, Baal Shem Tov. And he look like rich now. He doesn't look at all what he looked before. He have a servant next to him wherever he go. So he look at the Baal Shem Tov and say, do you know who I am? And the Baal Shem Tov says, yes, I do. I said, why did you do it to me? Why you took all my money and the cow and the chicken? I said, I'll tell you something. I saw in heaven, before Rosh Hashanah, that you're meant to be super rich, that can sustain many rabbis, that can teach the Torah, that can teach Kabbalah, that can teach Hasidut. And that money has to come only through you. You meant to have a very wealthy father, so he will give it to you. But unfortunately, your father died when you were young. So that never happened because of reincarnation reason. So I was sent by the angel basically to eliminate everything you have, so you have a true desire, because true desire only happens when you have nothing. At that moment, the Chassid, the student, start crying, and he said to Baal Shem Tov, I have 1 hour before Rosh Hashanah. Please forgive me for judging you. Please forgive me, teacher, rabbi, that I have doubts on you. What I want to teach you with that story, many times, the person who guides you, it could be your father, could be your mother, it could be your rabbi, it could be your teacher, tell you to do a thing which is illogical. Of course, you have to have doubts, you have to be suspicious, you have to do as a human being in this universe that's full of scorpion and snake and shark. But if you already choose a teacher, if you already choose a rabbi, you got to go for it. But don't go for it 90, not 80, not 60, and not 20. You got to go for it 100. If you want to get a good benefit this year, Tavshin Pei Gimel, the Rosh Hashanah, you want to go for everything, you got to go 100% with your relationship to your rabbi, relationship to your teacher. Otherwise, it will be just, you would not understand why you're going through something. And when good things happen, who promise you it will stay? And when bad things happen, you don't even know why it happened to you. So that, the reason that a person has to have a teacher, as the Mishnah said, make yourself a rabbi. Now, how do you know somebody is your rabbi from your point of view, not from his point of view? You check everything. You call every day. And I met many successful people in my life. And every time I meet successful people, I tell them, what's your secret? And they say, I have a person who guides me. And I'm either taking care of that person, or I'm either listening to them, or I do both. When I meet people that almost making it, it's usually because they're doubting everything. They're doubting their wife, their husband, their rabbi. They're doubting themselves, they're doubting God. You can't do that, my friend. And the way you know you're not doing it correctly, you're sad. The way you know you're doing it correctly, you are happy. I would like to read something from Sfat Emet, as I usually do, about this week parashah. And look what it say. In this parashah, it say, those curses happen to you. You want to know why? בפסוק תחת אשר לא עבדת את השם בשמחה ובטוב לבב, מרוב כל. The reason you didn't worship God with happiness. You know, I see sometimes people taking care of a rabbi, and then they said that they gave too much money. Let's say if they gave, let's say, 5 million, they said I should give him 50. Or I see people who give money to a shul or to a rabbi, and they kind of feel that they need to get something in return. Or there's people taking care of a teacher or rabbi or synagogue, and they're not happy about doing it. Energy like that will not get you anywhere. I tell you, if Rav Ashlag, those of you who know Baal HaSulam, Rav Ashlag or Rav Brandwein, I had the merit to serve many teachers and to meet many rabbis in my life. Thank God, Baruch Hashem. When you serve, you serve. When you give, you give. And you always have to say to yourself, how can I give more? And if you don't think how to give more, you're basically sad or miserable. You're not happy. And look what Sfat Emet say. תחת אשר לא עבדת את השם, because all the curses happened to you because you didn't worship God with happiness, מרוב כל. פירש הארי ז"ל, says שפת אמת, the Ari said, להיות שמחת עבודת השם יותר מרוב כל. The happiness of worship God has to be more than anything. כי בכל המידות צריכים לעבוד השם. In everything that you're going through, you have to worship God. כמו שנאמר, עבדו את השם בשמחה. Worship God with happiness. עבדו את השם ביראה. Worship God with fear and with respect. כשאדם שרוי בטובה, צריכה להיות עבודת השם בשמחה. When your life is going good, when you have no pain in your body, when there is a food on your table, when you can breathe, you can see, and there is maybe some people who have more than that, you have to worship Hashem בשמחה. Especially when things are good for you. שתגלה שמחת עבודת השם יותר מכל השמחות, ויתבטל שמחת הגוף לעבודת השם. A person has to worship God and worship spirituality more than anything else until the happiness of the body will be cancelled. It's not about the body. כמו כן בגלות וייסורים. What about if you go into pain and suffering? How can you be happy? גלות ייסורים צריך להיות יראת השם בפחד ודאגה מחסרון תיקון הנפש בעבודת השם. When you're not doing well in business or relationship, spirituality or other area or health, חס ושלום, then you have to be afraid and worried that maybe you're not doing something correctly spiritually. והתגבר זו הדאגה והתבטל דאגות ייסורי הגוף. And instead of busy with the pain you have in your body, you should be worried about your spiritual evolution. Are you growing up every day? says Fatman. וכי צרור המורד הודי לי דרשו חזר, אף על פי שבצער אמר לי בן שדי ילין, שגם מתוך הייסורים גלויים יכולים להתקרב לשם. Through the pain and suffering you can get closer to God, to Hashem. והיית בגמרא, כי ברית במלח וברית בייסורים, מה המלח ממתק את הבשר, בלקות קוראים ממתק את הקורבן, כך ייסורים ממתקים את הגוף. When a person goes to suffering, ייסורים, suffering, it's sweetening the body. The body get sweet, meaning what is the body? רצון לקבלה עצמו. Desire to receive for oneself alone, it's selfish. So you get you have stomach ache sometimes, headache sometimes, back pain, issue in your ankles, I don't know, something that go wrong. This is to make sure that the body will not control the spirit, the soul. And when it's good, you have to celebrate Hashem with so much happiness. When it's bad, you have to worry about, are you doing something incorrect so it's not working? פירוש, כשעובדים את הבורא מתוך הייסורים, when you worship God from the suffering, הייסורים מסייעים לעבודת הבורא. Then look at the pain, how it help you to worship God. כמו הכהן והמלח בבית המקדש, like the salt that kosher the meat in בית המקדש, מסייעים לקורבן. What is Sfat Emet is really revealed to us here. I think it's a very important lesson. How to worship God from pain and from goodness. From goodness, you have to be happy. Look how wonderful your life is. From pain, you have to look inside and say, what am I doing wrong spiritually that my life is going this way? And by doing that, you're not too busy with the problem. Let's say you don't have money. Let's say you don't have health, you don't have relationship. Don't be busy to have a relationship. Don't be busy to have money. Don't be busy with have health. Busy with what am I doing wrong spiritually, not physically, with myself, that it's not working. Maybe I'm not giving enough. Maybe I'm not doing tithing. Tithing, the most important thing. Some people skip on it. Or they're stealing a little bit from tithing. And then the money that they get extra, they have to pay for pills because they get sick. Can't do that. You have to do your job. God is telling you. You want to know what to do with your money and tithing? You're going to ask your rabbi. He tell you, you do. So don't make it too complicated. You got a problem? When you die, you go in the upper world? You tell God, hey, I find this rabbi. He told me that. Is it true? If God say yes, good. Anyway, you won because you asked somebody. So it's very important to understand it. Now, from the same aspect of the rabbi, we need to go to Likutei Moharan. It's about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. A section about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Likutei Moharan. Those of you who study Likutei Moharan is between Samech to Samech Aleph. But it's more in Samech Aleph. It's the end of Samech and beginning actually it's the beginning of Samech Aleph. It's Al Yedei Emunat Chachamim. When you have faith and certainty in Chachamim, in rabbi, in spiritual people, a teacher, להוציא משפטנו לאור כמשפט ועבודת צדקה, to make the court of heaven to judge me well, and this is really what it's all about. היינו בחינת דרך הממוצע שלא נותן לימין ושמאל, and I want to be balanced. How do you marry this? וזה זוכין על ידי אמונת חכמים. When you have a teacher or a rabbi that you believe on. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is teaching us. You got to follow somebody. Not always you're going to get the right one. Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes didn't get the right one in the end of his life. First he had Rabbi Akiva, then he had the Acher, but the Acher still teach him something. And he was able to take the Torah from Acher too. If the Acher can teach somebody Torah, any rabbi, we are not in a generation that the rabbi are so great, but if you're lucky enough to find somebody who was knowledgeable in Tikkunei Zohar or Kabbalah or Gemara or Halacha, and somebody who cared for you also to do the mitzvot, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem, you're lucky. Take the hand of this rabbi, don't let him go. Don't let him go. One of the things that I love about Hasidim is the way they treat their teacher. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. They take every money they have just to build a synagogue for their teacher. Build a mikveh for his teacher. Make sure there's a kitchen, a kosher kitchen. They don't wait. They don't write a check. They go and look for it. Rabbi, is everything okay here? Rabbi, did you eat well this morning? They're not busy. What about the business? No, the rabbi first. They look at the rabbi as the queen bee, if you know what I'm saying. Because they believe that to sustain the entire community. That will sustain the entire thing. And if you don't do it, and I'm not joking, then why you do a little bit? Then the little bit that you do, it's not worth nothing. Nothing. Better not to do a thing. If you doubt your teacher, your rabbi, whatever it is that guide you, what the little that you do, it's actually against you, work against you. Go for it. Go for it. You don't go for it, it will look like you not go for it. One time, a lady come to me. I said to me, Eliyahu, listen, I'm your student for 2 years, but I'm not sure I'm totally certain that you are the right person for me. I said, then you have to stop. So what do you mean? I think I would like you to be my advisor and teacher, and there's another 2 that I want. One in Malibu, one in London, and you in New York. I say, are you married? Yeah. I said, would you like your husband to have 3 wives? She said, Eliyahu, how dare you talk to me like that? And I didn't continue the conversation. What am I going to tell? You cannot fight people with opinion. You're going to be serious about your spirituality. And look what it says. Chachamim. לא תסור מן הדבר אשר יגידו לך ימין ושמאל. Whatever they tell you, do not walk right or left away from any words they tell you to do. ועל כן, על ידי זה יוצא המשפט ברור. Through that, it's clear. מבחינת משפטי אמת. Woe for the student who doesn't hear the teacher correctly. If you truly ask a teacher something, very direct. But if you want to play with the game and what you want, what you don't want, you're going to hear what you want to hear. Better not to ask if you don't want to hear. And it's not just me as a rabbi or a teacher. It's every rabbi. I have many rabbis I talk to. I have many teachers I ask. Every human being that I meet, I consider them my teacher. But if I ask, I ask. I asked today about a Torgim, another rabbi. I said, excuse me, I heard that. Is it correct? I asked another rabbi in Eretz Israel this morning, first thing in the morning. 3 questions, 6 a.m. Already asking, disagree, and then we clear it out. You always have to follow. I don't know where it came from, the idea that people think spirituality is kind of a freedom. Spirituality is not a freedom. It's a follow rules. That your teacher tells you the rules. You want to do it on your own, then do it. But if you already follow a teacher, then you got to follow. You don't follow a teacher because of his experience. You don't follow a teacher because, he looked like holy. You don't follow a teacher because the sign of the zodiac fit your sign. Once you choose, you choose. You go for it. The way you see if that teacher is for you, it's between 3 years and 5 years. If you start seeing things, then you continue. ועל ידי זה יוצא המשפט ברור כנ"ל מבחינה משפטית. כל הלימודים שאדם לומד צריך שיקבל ויוצאים מהם משפטי אמת, שלא יהיה מבחינת משפט מעוקל. And whenever you study something, it have to be serious, it have to be whatever they tell you. דהיינו שקבל וללמוד כל הלימודים שלומד משפטי הנהגות. Whatever they teach you, you gotta do it. שידע איך להתנהג לעצמו, you need to know how to behave with yourself and to others, that everybody behave in a certain way, כפי הממשלה והרבנות שיש לו, according to your level in your business or in your life. אין לרב, אין למעט, a lot or little bit. והכל זה זוכים, how do you get there? שהוא בחינת לא תסור, ואז יכול להוציא משפטי הנהגות, שהוא בחינת משפטי אמת. אבל כשפוגם באמונת חכמים, when a person stop believing in rabbi, look what it say, before ראש השנה, אזי נידון ביגיעת בשר. Then he will be judged, or she will be judged, יגיעת בשר, היינו במותרות. Then they start looking for luxuries for the body. They start saying, I think that cream is good for me. I think that cream is good for me. I think that smell is good for me. I think that head for the shower is good to me. And so on and so on and so on. Because you lose it. It's become body consciousness. כמו שאמרו רבותינו זיכרונם לברכה, like it's say in Iruvin, Talmud Iruvin, page Kaf Aleph, page 21. I don't even want to tell you what it says there. I'm embarrassed even to tell you. So you can put it there in the video later on. All right? Iruvin, page 21. That's all what I can tell you. Iruvin, page 21, Amud Bet, second section. Okay? כי אינו מאמין בדבריהם, מליג עליהם. He doesn't believe in the words and he makes fun of them in his brain or with his lips. Just to let you know, before the lecture, I want you to know, I prepare or something else. You see, there is a few books here. And I said, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, if there is something that you want me to say to the people today, because it's live, I'm going to open Likutei Moharan, and wherever it's open, I will follow. That's how you follow your teacher. You don't ask questions. That's what I'm going to tell my people. בדבריהם אמח למותר אצלו, על כן נידון במותרות. So people who are not, when they see the rabbi, when they see the teacher, don't take it seriously. If you want to study how to act with the teacher, with the rabbi, you can go. There's halachot. You have to study it, not because I need your respect. It's because you need to do that. There's laws, Jewish law, what to do. In the old days, it used to be king, it used to be prophet, it used to be great rabbi, Tanaim, Amoraim. Today, we have a neighborhood rabbi, local rabbi. Unfortunately, that's what God left us. As Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Merditchov used to say to his congregation, I guess you sin. How do I know you sin? Because God gave you a rabbi like me to teach you. I'm not in that level to tell you that. You have to be in a very high level to actually say it. Because I cannot tell you if I'm good for you or bad for you. That's up to you to decide. My purpose, Debbie's purpose, is to take care of people as much as we can. As much as we can. It's nothing that gives us pleasure than seeing people that we touch become happy. And you tell me, what do you think about it? So you say like this, when a person doesn't have a man he follow, or a woman he follow, or a teacher he follow, a rabbi he follow, then unfortunately when they speak, the words of the Torah, the words of spirituality is going all over the place. Again, there's so much more in the page Samech Aleph. I'm going to put, I think we all need to read it because it's kind of very powerful.